I went to see a waterfall in Jawhar taluka of Palghar district, a waterfall called Dabosa. And I was told that this was the highest rainfall area in Maharashtra, and I was super excited. I went with my friend, we had a great day. And on the way back, I saw something very horrible. The entire road was dotted with women and young girls walking with heavy pots on their head. And honestly, it didn't make any sense to me. There was so much water in the waterfall, then why were these women and girls walking? It felt extremely ironic. And I just couldn't sleep well that night. And I went back again to understand why this was happening and what it was all about. That's when I realized that this was a centuries old unsolved problem. The women whom I saw walking, their grandmothers were also walking. And I immediately felt that if I don't do something about it, even their grandchildren will continue walking. This problem had to be solved. And with that resolved, I came back and the board got into a meeting and we decided to kind of address that problem on a priority and understand why it was. And of course, the next step was to understand why there was so much water, yet why the area was so water scarce. And the answers lied in hydrogeology of the area. These were northern western ghats, part of the Sahyadri mountain range, and the entire Sahyadri mountain range was made up of compact basalt rock, which made the rainwater to quickly flow away instead of, and no percolation was happening. So there were multiple challenges which these communities faced, which ensured that the communities got stuck in the vicious cycle of poverty and deprivation for centuries. Over the years, we have replicated this pilot multiple times, making us impact directly about 60,000 people. 110 villages have been made water positive. And it has been a phenomenal journey, giving us accreditation from none other than United Nations for our work on water. We are extremely proud of our program on water because water is the basic elixir. It's the essential element for any life, whether it is human life or cattle life. And once we make these villages water secure, the whole, you actually break the vicious cycle and a virtuous cycle of growth and development begins. And I'm so happy when I look back, that 110 villages, and every year we add about 15 to 20 villages to this list, 60,000 people directly, a lot of cattle, because we also work on multiple aspects of water, human drinking, cattle drinking, water for agriculture, and water for sanitation and hygiene. So cattle is also a very important stakeholder whom we are impacting in this. So multiple number of cattle. Since last couple of years, we have also started actually calculating the cattle. In just last 1 year, I can give you the numbers. 8,000 cattle have been directly impacted because now water is available in their own villages and they don't have to go astray, just looking for water. Farmers are another impact area, a big impact group that we have, because now year-round water is available. So we then work with small and marginal farmers on growing year-round crops so that they can get year-round income from agriculture without having them to migrate to urban areas to work as a casual labor. I keep on saying that water underpins all social problem, and the poverty that we see in the world, actually bulk of that poverty is water poverty, caused because of water scarcity. And honestly, this theory was validated when we made the villages water secure. The moment villages became water secure, farming became possible. Women started saving a lot of time, because otherwise they would start spending, typically once rainy season gets over by October, November, by December, water scarcity looms large. Some villages start becoming water scarce. By February, almost most of the villages are water scarce, and women then start walking. Initially, they would walk for 3-4 hours every day just to fetch water for drinking and cooking. And then this number, will just go on increasing. By May, these women would end up spending almost the entire day fetching water, 9 hours, 10 hours. So there are these underground aquifers, which slowly, so there are these streams which actually throw water into the open well. And these streams they become very, very small, and so slowly they will literally trickle water into the well. And what these women would do is that they actually make a line next to the open well, and they don't know what time their number will come, and they many times women sleep there in the night because their number might come at 3 o'clock. By 3 o'clock maybe there'll be enough water to fill up one pot, and then they can go back home. Once water becomes available, year round water, what was important was not only improving the availability but also access to water. So access to water came because we started working inside the village, creating open wells for drinking water. There were defunct bore wells, so we started building recharge structures around the bore well. We started improving the groundwater table through rooftop rainwater harvesting. We did a 2-year research. We picked up a couple of women and we shadowed them for 2 years. 1 year before we implemented our water program, and 1 year after we implemented the water program, same women were shadowed to understand the difference that our water program was bringing into their life in terms of how much time they were saving. And the numbers were horrendous. I mean, women were saving between 1,000 to 1,200 hours per annum, which was quite an eye-opener for all of us, And when we put those numbers into perspective, I mean, if you look at a 20-year time span or lifespan, close to 4 years, women were just walking for water. So what do we do in climate smart agriculture? Our farmers grow paddy for self-consumption, paddy and millets for self-consumption. They don't sell it because that's where their food security is. We found a solution called system of rice intensification and system of millet intensification, where these crops are little dense. As a result, they are not that much affected by climate change related incidents, which is heavy rain or extremely heavy wind and things like that. They are much more stronger than the ordinary paddy crop, and which also gives better yield. About 30-40% extra yield comes. So farmer can keep one portion for self-consumption and can start making income from the SRI SMI methodology. So we introduced them to that methodology. Then we also introduced them to monsoon farming. They were not doing monsoon farming at all. Now monsoon, there's so much water is available. So clearly monsoon farming like growing gourds, etc., bottle gourd and different types of gourds was honestly the, no-brainer. So we introduced them, we taught them, we provided them with input support like trellis was required. They didn't know where to get it from, good quality seeds, and also knowledge on market linkages. So that's how we are trying to make them climate proof, climate change proof. So Raah Foundation very interestingly works in the concept of change without charity. So nothing comes free to the people because this development program is not for me, it is for them, and they have to participate in the process of development, which has also made our programs extremely sustainable because there is enormous ownership by the community. There's skin in the game. So we started a cohort with women on grass weaving. We also introduced them to textile waste upcycling cohort. So we have a very large cohort of women who are actually, so we are collecting a lot of textile waste from Mumbai, otherwise which would have gone to landfills. And these women are using this textile waste and they sit on looms and actually make beautiful mats out of that, beautiful mats, table runners, table mats, everything. Then there's another group of women who are making quilts using patchwork. So they always made quilts for their own consumption. Whenever the saris would get old and torn, they would just convert that into quilts, but for self-consumption. But we are now helping them make designer quilts, which then we help sell in Mumbai market. So we are about 1,000 women who are part of these group businesses. And our affiliate organization called Raah Creative Design provides market linkages. So once women are trained by Raah Foundation in the basic skills, they become producers to Raah Creative Design. Raah Foundation, what really began as a passion for me and Girish, my co-founder, has now become a movement. And there are so many people who have joined this movement, who are equally passionate. And, I always think about this beautiful शेर that हम चले थे अकेले राह पर, लोग जुड़ते गए कारवा बढ़ता गया.